Okay. Uh, we have to talk about the Poisson distribution, which last time we discussed the binomial distribution. So now we have to go through the Poisson distribution. So Poisson variable, which mean if we consider a number of outcomes within a given time period, or this time can be actual clock times like seconds, minutes, or that can be like counts within 5 counts, within 10 counts like months. So any time can be acceptable in this case. So within a given unit time, number of outcomes that's we consider as a Poisson variable. So that Poisson variable consists of values from 0 to any value up to infinity. But remember this, these Poisson variables, they are discrete variables, okay, because still we are discussing the discrete variables. So values can be from 0 to infinity. Any number is possible, okay, there is no limit for that. That's the beauty of this distribution. Okay, for an example, oh sorry, for an example, you can see number of telephone calls received per hour at the call center. So number of calls can be 0, 1, 2, or whatever, maybe 1,000, 10,000, that's possible, okay. So there is no limit. That's why we denote it by 3 dots, okay. Number of satellite signals received per minute. So always there is a unit time. This is per minute, this is per hour, right? So likewise, we have a given time period. Okay. Okay. This is the distribution of this Poisson distribution. So this is the Poisson distribution. So I'll tell you what are these variables. So probability of x given x. This is again uh, point probability equals lambda to the power x times e to the negative lambda divided by x factorial. Okay, here simple x mean number of possible outcomes, or number of successes that we are considering. Okay, which can be like number of calls per hour. Okay, number of calls can be 0, 1, 2, something like that. There is no limit for that. So lambda we call a rate parameter. Rate parameter we call rate per unit time. Okay, lambda is some kind of a rate parameter. Okay, uh, so lambda to the power x e to the negative lambda divided by x factorial. Okay, so this e, simple e, you know that value is 2.718. Okay, most of the time you don't need to plug this 2.718 value. Sometime it cancel out, but sometime you have to use it. Okay, so that value based on natural log. Okay, natural log, you know what is natural log, right? Natural log mean ln. Okay, log mean base 10, ln mean natural log. Okay, base e, this is base e. Okay, that's we call natural log. Okay, so this is the Poisson distribution. uh, this one, this is again we call PMF, right? Poisson PMF. Poisson, oh sorry, this we call uh, Poisson, oh sorry, let me erase this. Oh sorry, uh, this is we call Poisson PMF, probability mass functions. Okay, probability mass function. Same as the binomial distribution, we have a CDF for this Poisson distribution. So this is the CDF for Poisson distribution. Same thing, but we have a summation. We have to sum from minus 0 to that values. Again here we use simple y. to avoid the confuse. Okay, so this is again a number of successes, okay, that we have in our problem. So always we use this parameter lambda if we need to denote the Poisson distribution. Okay, so don't forget lambda, because lambda is a major component in this distribution. Okay, rate parameter or rate per unit time.
Hello,
uh,
sir.
Sorry, yes.
So can you please explain about X and Y in
X and
cumulative
y.
probabilities? Yes,
What is X and Y?
it's the variable X and variable Y.
Okay, okay, sorry.
Yes.
X is the number of successes, same as what we used in binomial distribution. Okay, number of successes or number of values that we are concerning about in our problem. Okay, so there is no simple end here, because it doesn't has a limit. So X value can be 0 to infinity. Okay, so there is no simple end here, there's no limit. Clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's why we don't have end here. See, there is no end in this distribution. So we have lambda. Instead of that, we have lambda. Lambda is the rate per unit time, which means simply we can say, okay, uh, 5 vehicles, for an example, 5 vehicles pass within 2 minutes. So lambda is 5, something like that. It depends on the question. Okay, so that's how we deal with this lambda. Clear?
Yes, sir. And what
Okay,
about Y?
okay. Why? Okay, so again, this is the CDF of the Poisson distribution. So we again consider the summation from it 0 to whatever x value. Okay, that's why we use this simple y. This y mean simply your x values. X is start from 0 to particular x value. Okay, otherwise don't confuse with this y. Okay, so Poisson distribution, there is a very beautiful thing, that is uh, expected value and its variance. So expected value and the variance, they are equal, and value is lambda. So in the Poisson distribution, expected value of x equals variance of x, that equals lambda, your rate parameter. Okay, so if you need to find the standard deviation, simply take the square root. Okay, so it's easy to remember, right? Let's check few things. Check whether above probabilities. Okay, specify a legitimate PMF. Legitimate PMF mean what? That probability values, the summation of those probability values should equals to 1. Okay, simply like a CDF, right? Those all probabilities, summation of all probabilities equals to 1. Okay, which mean probability of capital X equals, let's say X start from 0. Okay, plus probability of X equals 1, plus probability of X equals 2, plus, like probability of X equals let's say Xn, plus whatever, 3 dots, which means it goes to infinity because we don't know the value. So this value equals to 1. Okay, that's we call legitimate PMF. Okay, because that's the property of a PMF. Okay, so simply they ask this. We need to show this is true, which means summation of this one. Okay, summation of all possible probabilities for possible values should equals to 1. Okay, let's plug px. So here you have summation. How do you find the x values, a probability of x? So simply plug the distribution, right? E to the power negative lambda x divided by x factorial. Okay, since this e to the power lambda, it doesn't has anything to do with this summation, because there is no x in this e to the power. You can take this e to the power out from this summation. Okay, like this. There is something in mathematics we use, we call Maclaurin series of ey. Let's say Maclaurin series of ey, we can simply denote by this. It is very similar to Fourier series, but it is different one. Okay, so Maclaurin series of e to the power y, we can simply write it like this: 1 plus e to the power y. Okay, 1 plus y squared over 2 factorial plus something like that. Okay, so you can summarize it like this: summation n from 0 to infinity y to the power n divided by n factorial. Okay, uh, now you can compare this piece here we have in this line and this one. Okay, so if you consider these two, they are very similar. Only difference is this y. So once you replace y using your lambda, you will get something like this. Okay, so you can write e lambda. Okay, summation from x equals 0 to infinity lambda to the power x over n factorial. Okay, so simply you can replace this piece from this. Clear? That's what they have done here. So you have e to the power negative lambda here. Keep it. You replace this piece, summation piece, using e to the power lambda. So e to the power negative lambda times e to the power lambda is equals to 1, right? It's like e to the power negative lambda plus lambda. Okay, e to the power 0, it is 1. Clear? So it is just to get an idea how we show whether this whether a particular distribution is a legitimate PMF or not. Okay. Uh, okay, let's check this example. In this example, you can see number of drivers who travels between, okay, a particular origin and destination during a designated time. Okay, between particular origin and destination during a designated time. So always we have a time interval. Okay, so they have given parameter lambda, so you don't have to worry about it. They have given lambda. What is the probabilities? Okay, be at most 10. At most 10 mean probability of capital X. Okay, let's say X is our number of drivers. Okay, so X less than or equal 10, right? At most mean X less than or equal 10. So we have to find this. Clear? Okay, let's check this one. We need to find this. Okay, I'll write what we need to find. So part 2, exceed 20. Exceed 20 mean probability of capital X greater than 20, right? Okay, inclusive, sorry, between 10 and 20 inclusive, which means probability capital X less than or equal 20, greater than or equal 10, right? Okay, okay, keep this one aside for a moment. Okay, now what you have to do to find this, you have to find all possible values from 0 to 10. Px equals 0 plus px equals 1 up to plus px equals 10. Clear? Okay, so to find this, simply you have to plug your equation. I think they have mentioned it here, so I don't need to rewrite it. So this is your Poisson distribution. So these are the possible values. You need to find probability of capital X less than or equal 10. So uh, this is the value. Simply you have to plug each and every X into this probability distribution or this PMF and find the value. So for an example, first one, X equals 0. You have to plug X equals 0 into this one and get the value. Okay, when lambda 0, lambda to the power 0, which is 1, okay, any variable to the power 0, it is 1. Okay, don't forget it. So e to the power negative lambda, lambda is 20, so you have to calculate it. You please use your calculators to calculate these probability values. X0, you know what is the 0 factorial, right? It is 1. Okay, so you can use that. And also you can use your CDF table. Let me share that as well. Oh, sorry, because I have to go through that. Where is that? Okay, let me stop share and share that table. PDF, this one. So we should what is that? We wanted to find uh, we wanted to find we wanted to find probability of capital X less than or equal 10. Okay, our lambda value is what, 20. If I'm correct, it is 20. Okay. You can see here just below the binomial CDFs. These are the binomial CDF we talked about last time. Okay, they have mentioned the name. See, cumulative binomial distribution. So go down and you will find cumulative Poisson distributions. Oh, sorry, cumulative Poisson distributions. They have mentioned the CDF as well. Okay, these are CDF values. So these values mean in the first column, those are the X values. These values. Okay, these column values they have mentioned mu. Okay, they have mentioned mu, which means your lambda values here. Okay, so simply try to find you have lambda 20. So this is not the exact way, okay, how we find this kind of probability. That's the way I showed you last time. Okay, so get the summation of all individual pieces. Okay, but there's an alternative way. It is this. You can use this one. Your lambda is 20. Okay, let's find 20. Okay, see, 20 is here. 20 is here. Now find your mu or oh, so sorry, I missed it, right? So this is your lambda. Okay, the first I mean this column, the first row, that is the lambda. Okay, so you have to find 20 from this. These are your X values. First row, first column is your X values. So I'm so sorry. So your X value is 10. You have to go to 10, not this one. You have to go to 10, not this one. 10, this one. Okay, and find lambda value, or simply here we call mu, which is 20, which means the last column, this one. So come down, you will see that particular value, 0.011. Okay, 0.011. So this is the value which is probability of capital X less than or equal 10. Clear? So using this table, you can find it easily without calculating the individual pieces. Okay, clear? But believe me, you cannot find each and every values. But I think you can use this to save your time. Okay. Okay. Let me go back. 3.4.
Professor,
Yes, sir.
will we need this table on exam?
Exam on this exam actually, yeah, this Friday.
No, will we need this table?
Stable mean? What do you mean by that? Hello?
Uh, Professor, so the table that you just showed us, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, will we need it in a test?
Oh no. You don't need it because exam
Okay,
covers from chapter 1 to 3.2. But up to 3.2 you don't need this. Okay?
okay.
Okay, because we are in chapter 3.4, so you don't need it. Okay. I think I share it. Okay. Okay. Full screen. Okay. So you can see the answer is 0.011. Okay. Now the second one, I think greater than 20. So simply you can find 1 minus, you can use the negation of that. 1 minus probability of x less than or equal to 20. Okay. 20 you can find using your table, right? Or you can do the hard works like this. Get the sum from 0 to 20, and 1 minus that value is this. Okay, I'm not going back to that table. Please check it once I upload it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so value between 10 and 20 inclusive. I told you last time you can find it using the second value, f capital F second value minus capital F first value. Sorry, not first value, n minus 1 value, right? Do you remember that last time I told you if you have something like this, probability of capital X less than or equal, let's say n2, sorry, n3, n1. So you have to find something like this. Simply you can find capital F n3 minus capital F n 0. Okay, not 1, a value just before. This is n0, this is n1, this is n2, n3. Okay, something like this. You don't need to think too much, just apply this. This is the CDF value. Okay, capital F mean CDF value. Okay, so variance is what? Variance or mean, they are equal because this is a Poisson distribution, which is lambda. So our lambda is 20. Clear? So you don't have to worry about that. Like binomial distribution, you don't need to calculate. If you know lambda, your variance and mean, they are equal and value is lambda. Okay. Okay. Since you already know about binomial distribution and the Poisson distribution, there is a good relationship between binomial and Poisson distribution. Once the particular total number of outcomes in our binomial distribution increases up to or exceeds a particular value, okay, it's a rough threshold, not exact threshold, it's a rough value. If it passes some value, then we can approximate, okay, approximate our binomial distribution to a Poisson distribution. Okay, we can approximate our binomial PMF to a Poisson PMF. It is like this. This is a preposition. Okay, suppose that our binomial PMF, it is this one. Our n, which means the total number of outcomes in binomial variable. Okay, so when n goes to infinity, these are limits. Okay, limit simple n goes to infinity, and probability limit probability closest to 0. At that time, we can consider n times p. We denote it mu. Okay, n times p. We denote it mu, and we can write something like this: our binomial distribution approximate to a Poisson distribution. Okay, here we don't mention it is lambda, but actually that value is lambda, but in general we use another variable called mu. Mu is equals to n times p, but there's a rule of thumb. So I think, yeah, it is mentioned here. The rule of thumb is this: your simple n value, okay, please check this carefully. Your simple n value in your binomial case, in your binomial PMF, your simple n should greater than 50, okay, and also n times p less than 5, strictly less than, not equal, strictly less than, and also this one, simple n is strictly greater than 50. So this is the you can consider this as a condition. Okay, if your case, your problem satisfies these two, then you can approximate it as a Poisson distribution. Okay, but these two should satisfy. Okay, so that if it is satisfied, you can write it like this: you can approximate your binomial distribution or binomial PMF to a Poisson PMF. Okay, so your mu, or we can say lambda, but please try to avoid this lambda term if you are approximating it, because we are approximating something. Okay, so try to use mu equals to n times p. Okay, so this value less than 5 because of this. Okay, actually why we do this, it's because sometime when n values like goes up like to 100 150, it's really hard to calculate using binomial PMF, right? Because we have factorials, we have powers like p to the power n minus x. Do you remember that binomial distribution? So n minus x, so it's gonna be like 150 minus 1, which is 149. So it's gonna be really hard. That's why we try to approximate and do our calculations. Okay, so there is an example. You can see here the reports, article reports that 1 in 250 people, 1 in 250, which means 1 over 250. That's the probability, simple p. Okay, carry the defective gene, inherited colon cancer, in sample 10,000 individuals. So your n, simple n, is 10,000. Oh, sorry, 1,000. Sorry, not 10,000, 1,000. Okay. Okay, what is the approximate distribution of the number who carries this gene? Okay, approximate. So since, see, it is 1,000, it is really hard, like impossible to use binomial distribution. But this is again something we can use binomial distribution. The problem is this number is too large. So you can check those two conditions. What is that? Simple n greater than 50, n times p less than 5. So let's check that. So you know what is the p value, you know what is n. N greater than 50, yes, right, because it is 1,000. NP, n is 1,000, sorry, 1 over 15 is the p, so n is 1,000. So this gonna be what, 4, right? So yes, less than 5, satisfied. So now you can see that you can use this approximated Poisson distribution. So you can approximate your binomial distribution to a Poisson distribution and you can use it. Okay. So what is your new mu, which is NP 4. Okay. So what they ask, between 5 and 8 inclusive, probability of capital X between 5 and 8. So you need to find this. Okay. Simply again, you can use this means F8 minus F not 5 4. Okay, so go to the table and find F8 and F4, then you can have your value. Okay, I think they use that one. Yes, they have used the table values to get the answer. It is 0.35. Okay, greater than greater than or equal 8, which means 1 minus less than or equal 7. 1 minus probability x less than or equal 7. Again, go to the table and find this value and you can find this. Okay, I think it is better you use Poisson CDF table to find these values. Okay, because it is if you do it by hand one by one, it takes some time. So you can avoid that problems by using CDF table. Okay, clear? Once your binomial n, okay, binomial simple n value greater than 50, you can think about a Poisson approximation. Okay. Questions? Any questions? Okay, so I move to next slide and next slide. Since our lambda is a rate parameter, okay, check this one. Number of events occur during any particular time interval of length. Time is t, rate is alpha. Okay, number of events occur within this time length or within this time period with rate alpha. So if you have this kind of information, you can simply take them as a lambda. See, alpha times t. So time multiplied by its rate, it is your lambda. You can simply take your lambda equals alpha times t. Okay, if you have this kind of information, then simply find the lambda by multiplying those time interval and rate. Okay, okay, so that you can replace your lambda in your Poisson distribution using alpha t. Okay, so e to the negative, you have in the first place you had e to the negative lambda to the power t, lambda to the power x divided by this, right? X factorial, probability of x equals x. Okay, now you don't have lambda, you have alpha t, lambda equals alpha t. So replace these alpha values by lambda t. And also you don't have success values. Simply you don't have x. You have something in given time length. Okay, have something in time length. So you have to get another parameter like c events, k events, or simply you can use x as well. That's fine. Okay, I'll use x. Okay, so you don't need to confuse with this k. You can, this is equals to ux. Okay, so alpha is the rate, expected number of outcomes during a unit interval. Okay, events divide by time interval or time. This is your alpha here. Okay, and lambda, which means alpha times t, is the expected number of outcomes of given length t, given length t. Okay, so lambda you can simply call expected number of outcomes, because lambda equals expected value of x. So you can simply call lambda is the expected number of outcomes. Okay,
Uh,
because this Poisson, yes,
oh, sorry, sir, to interrupt you.
yes, yes,
Like I want to ask that here the lambda will be rate per unit time, right?
yes, rate by time, yeah.
So, so it will not be like alpha by t,
Alpha what?
alpha by t, alpha divided by t.
No, it's not alpha divided by t. It is actually this is expected number of outcomes. This one is rate. Okay, so we need expected number of outcomes, right? So it is simply like this, multiply by this. Clear? Because
Okay,
alpha
okay.
is number of, see, expected number of outcomes. Okay, so alpha is expected number of outcomes within a unit time or unit time interval. So if you multiply that alpha by the unit time, you get expected number of outcomes. This one. This is our lambda. See? Clear?
Oh yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, let me check the time. Okay, 38. Okay. I think this example give you a clear idea about that rate stuff, rate type. Number of requests, I mean, simply called services Poisson process with rate 4 per hour, with rate 4 per hour. So this is your alpha. Per hour is your t. So now what is lambda? It is alpha t, which means in here, uh, let's say per hour mean 1, simply call, so it is alpha. Okay, so I'm not going to write it. This is your t and this is your alpha, this is your rate. Okay, so compute the probability that exactly 10 requests, okay, keep this one, you need this, during 2 hours. Now what is your t? 2 hours. So you know what is alpha, you know what is your t. So you can simplify alpha, simplify lambda by multiplying alpha t, which means alpha is, you already know, it is 4, t is what, 2. So your lambda is 8. Okay, what you need to find, uh, exactly 10 requests. So probability of capital X equals 10. So this is what you need to find. Okay, this is what you need to find. Okay, let's go forward and find this. So you need to find this, as I mentioned, you can find alpha by multiplying those two. Okay, so you need to find this, which means capital F10 minus just before value capital F9. This you can find using the CDF table. This you can find using the CDF table. Okay, so plug those values, you will get the answer. Clear? But remember, they are talking about per hour. Per hour, okay? Per hour, not minutes, seconds, or any other values, just hours. If you have something like this, check the second one. towing service take a 30-minute break. 30-minute break. Okay. Now your time period is different. Your time units are different. Okay. Units are different. They are minutes now, but you have hours. Now you have minutes. What you have to do? You have to convert these minutes to hours before you use lambda equal alpha t. Okay, so it is easy. This is 30 minutes, which means what? When you convert to hours, it is 1/2 hours, right? 30 minutes mean 1/2 hours. Oh, sorry, 1/2 hour. Okay, now it is fine. Now you can use your alpha. Sorry, now you can use your lambda, which is alpha times t. Your alpha, it doesn't change. It is the rate. Times, now what is the t? 1/2. So this is 2. They ask, okay, what they ask, towing service within this value, they do not miss any calls. They do not miss any calls, which mean do not miss mean what? There is no calls, right? That's why they do not miss it. So x equals 0. Okay, this is you need to find, because they do not miss call, which means there were no calls within that 30 minutes break. That's why uh, they didn't miss any call. Okay, see, you find this one, your lambda, and this is what they ask. So you can simply apply e to the power negative lambda to the power x over x factorial. Okay, so this means e to the power negative alpha. Negative uh, is 2, right? It's 2. 2 to the power x. X is 0 over 0 factorial. So this is e to the power negative 2. This is 1 over 1. So it is e to the power negative